Alright, here's something I didn't expect to say. Third good impact in a row. And I'm as shocked about that as you are. I don't know what happened. Someone backstage must have pulled their head out of their ass, at least temporarily. I heard Ed Ferrara got fired. Maybe that's what caused this. But however it happened, it's definitely been a change for the better. The shows lately haven't been groundbreaking or anything like that, but they have been logical, easy to follow, and surprisingly inoffensive. And for TNA, that's territory they haven't charted in quite a while. I mean, look what's going on here right now. Scott Hall has been fired. The Band are broken up and no longer tag team champions. The Motor City Machine Guns are #1 contenders. Orlando Jordan and Rob Terry have been off TV for weeks. And the card for Victory Road actually looks pretty decent, and it's shaping up well before the 11th hour. That's progress. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves just yet. They are having another ladder match next week. So, it's possible that the streak may end at 3. But just for this week, the show is pretty good. In fact, there really wasn't anything that I can bitch about too much. I guess I only have 2 real complaints. One being that Sarita and Taylor Wilde break up after tension was teased between them in an angle that aired entirely on Explosion. TNA, do you not see what's wrong with that? I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, yeah, I guess it's pretty much a done deal at this point that Explosion will start airing on Spike TV sooner or later, but right now it's only airing internationally. So what you did here was you paid off an angle on Impact for which all the build-up happened on a show that American audiences are not able to watch. Okay, if you're going to do that, you have to put Explosion up on the YouTube page or the website or something like that, so people have a chance to see what's going on. And I think it's just idiotic to break those 2 up, because they are the only tandem of women in the company who are good enough to carry the Beautiful People to a watchable match. And without them, the Beautiful People are now the only knockout tag team in the company. That's pretty sad. And I have no idea why the women's tag team titles even still exist at this point. The only reason why they're not the most worthless titles in the company is because Rob Terry still has the global title for some baffling reason. And my other complaint is that the AJ Samoa Joe match wasn't treated like a bigger deal. I mean, these guys have a storied history. They just main evented a pay-per-view for the world title a couple months ago, and here their match was just thrown on the show with no real hype. I mean, it was too short, but it did get a little more time than Impact matches usually get. Plus, there was at least a reason for it to exist. I mean, they said that Joe would probably be moving up in the rankings because of this match, so my guess is that they're doing this to keep Joe and Kurt Angle away from each other for a while longer. It's just a hunch. And I do agree with that, definitely, because a match like Joe versus Kurt Angle, that's something that should be built up to, even if we have seen it before several times. So, I'm not happy about the way they presented this. Having said that, it could have been worse. Now, speaking of Kurt Angle, this storyline with him working his way up through the top 10 rankings is probably the best storyline TNA has going for him right now. And why? Because it's really simple. It doesn't have a lot of silly stuff or overbooked gimmicky crap attached to it, and yet it still feels important. We had the Pope make his big return. He cut a great promo, and then Angle comes out to challenge him, and just like that, after one segment, their match at Victory Road means something. It's that simple. Something else that should mean something, if they manage to present it the right way, yeah, I know that's a big if, is AJ versus Kazarian next week. Not only should that be a hell of a match, but this has been built up to for a while, and they actually announced it a week in advance, which this creative team never does. I mean, if they're actually announcing something a week in advance, it's gotta be important. So, I'm definitely looking forward to that, although I am really wondering why it's not happening at Victory Road. Doesn't really make sense to me. But anyway, also good. It looks like this Desmond Wolfe-Chelsea thing may be over, finally. At least I hope it is. It sure seems like it. I mean, after she walked out on him this week during his match, causing him to lose the match, I don't see how they could drag it out any longer. I mean, when she deliberately screwed him over at the pay-per-view, that really should have been the end of it right there. I mean, ever since then, he's just continued to bring her out to the ring with him for reasons that can only make sense to the writers, and all she does is cause him to lose matches. Why can't Desmond Wolfe win a match? Why are they dragging this out so long? I don't know. I don't understand this. Hopefully it's over now. And the last thing I'm going to mention here is Abyss. Now, I think the rehabilitation of Abyss's character is actually going surprisingly well, all things considered. He is building up a good deal of momentum. I mean, if they're letting him no-sell multiple chair shots from Hulk Hogan, I mean, they're really making this guy look strong. And it's not because of some magic ring bullshit this time. That's all very good. Yes, I do wish it was someone like Desmond Wolfe getting this mega push, but I'm not going to criticize this too much when compared to what Abyss was doing a couple months ago. And also, just for the sheer awesomeness of that last image of the homegrown TNA star Abyss standing tall in the ring over 3 former WWE guys. I'm not an Abyss fan, but I have to admit that was pretty damn cool. The only thing that worries me about this, and I mean it really fucking worries me, is this terrifying rumor that Hulk Hogan is pushing for Abyss to win the world title at the pay-per-view. Because, God forbid, if that actually happens, it would most likely make the rumored Hogan-Abyss match at Bound for Glory for the World Heavyweight Championship. And since Hogan has creative control over his own storylines, I think we all know what the outcome of that would be. Ugh. So, as I end this week's video, let's all just cross our fingers and hope to God that that doesn't happen, because if Hulk Hogan versus Abyss is going to main event Bound for Glory this year, then I'm just going to start looping the rope around my neck right now. Now, oh, and one more thing. I am sick of all you dirtbags out there who have been spamming me over and over for the last couple of weeks, sending me all these smart-ass emails warning me about some mysterious evil twin, this elusive doppelganger that crossed over into our universe when I escaped from the 4th dimension. Just stop it, alright? Stop it. It's not funny. It was never fucking funny. That whole 4th dimension thing was a terrifying ordeal, and it scarred me for life. And I don't need a bunch of immature jerk-offs making light of it just to amuse themselves. Read my lips. There is no evil doppelganger. There was never an evil doppelganger. He doesn't exist, you assholes. He does not exist. What the hell was that?